Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Today we're going to talk about the crossover comics event of the year.
Whoa.
Batman Ninja Turtles.
Says it on the back cover.
It says it right
Yeah,
there.
it
Boom.
declares it right there on
Yeah.
the book itself.
Batman Ninja Turtles, written by James Tynion IV, with art by Freddie E. Williams II. This is everything that you thought it could be, and about that much. Because,
Well,
I would say more, but no. It's how much more do you
here's
want?
the thing. On the back, I can clearly see a Ninja Turtle riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is definitely more than I thought I
No,
would get
it's
from this.
it's the robot from the Batcave.
Oh.
It's still a T-Rex.
That's a robot?
Yeah.
A T-Rex is a robot.
It's a
Yeah.
robot.
I thought it was like you see in a museum, like it's just a statue.
No, it's also a robot.
Yeah, I think
How
it's
come he
Fido.
doesn't use it more?
It's in the Batcave, and it's massive.
Well, why doesn't he drive it out of the Batcave and like tear shit up?
Because it would be difficult to put it back in the Batcave without people following him.
And he's used it before inside the Batcave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Court of Owls, I think it was.
Yes, he used it in Court of Owls. And
Boom.
Frank Miller actually wound up using it in Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Oh,
That was
Yeah.
I
great.
don't remember that.
It's very brief. But in any case, this is kind of in continuity in as much as it
Really?
uses current Batman standing.
Okay.
It's right before Rebirth happened, but it's still...
They're not going to refer back to it or anything, though.
No. No one's going to be like, remember that time?
With you and the Turtles?
No. Well, thankfully, what happens in this crossover is what happens in every crossover, in that they have a world-threatening event, and they go on a merry adventure, and at the end of the day, everything goes back to where it was exactly right before this event started.
So did they get there through an intimate... Did they come through an interdimensional rift?
Yeah. No. Actually, what happens is the Turtles and Shredder and the Foot Clan are all in a big battle that includes Splinter and frickin' Krang.
Krang, man.
And then Krang uses his space alien technology to send the Turtles and Shredder and the Foot Clan and Splinter away.
Why does he send the Foot Clan and Shredder away?
They're in the
they're
way.
annoying.
Oh, he just doesn't give a shit about them.
No. Unlike the cartoon show, Krang and Shredder are not like roommates.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry. He sends them away, and where he sends them is Gotham. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Does he
Hey,
intentionally send them to go?
works.
Not really.
Okay.
It's just he sends them away, and where they wound up being is Gotham.
Okay.
And
I just hoped they wouldn't come back.
yeah.
It's like, I've defeated you by sending
I've
you...
defeated you. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
What's funny is it never comes up how Krang does it, or
Right.
whether Krang is like upset that they returned, or whether he's surprised in any way.
Right.
By the way, I got this signed at Baltimore Comic Con.
I was gonna
It's
say,
signed by
it
the writer, and while Freddie E. Williams was not there, the creator of Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman, was there, and he drew a Ninja Turtle in my book.
Yay!
Tynion's funny. He wrote Cowabunga in the
Ah.
book because on the first solicitation for the book, someone wrote Cowabunga, and all of James's like professional friends were like, "Really?" And he's like, "I didn't write that," and they're like, "Sure." And so he just tried to own it by putting it in all the books that he
Right,
signs. Like,
right.
Cowabunga! It is really weak.
It's sad.
It's the weakest part of this crossover,
It's
which is the promotion.
Like,
it's
does
not
anyone-
as weak as Encyclopedia Britannica.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Tynion thinks that's awful and tries to get behind it. We've had offers to purchase the name from us.
Encyclopedia Britannica?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because we own it. It's our
'cause we
property.
coined it,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you can't have it, because no one should have it.
Oh, so you're protecting the world.
Yes. But if we do, if there is a show that's ever called Encyclopedia Britannica, rest assured it will be a podcast that we produce.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's actually... It's a stupid name, but it might be just stupid enough to catch
To
on,
work. Yeah.
at least for a little while.
Yes, but it wasn't the way to go out of the gate for
No,
us.
no,
it wasn't
it was not.
It wasn't the hat hanging plan that Ben had, which was, this is our show and here is the marquee. No. Anyway, in Batman TMNT, the Foot Clan is stealing scientific components from various places, and Batman shows up, and well, actually, the Ninja Turtles show up and kick their asses. And when Batman investigates the theft, the eyewitnesses are like, so these ninjas showed up, and then these 4 monsters came in and kicked their asses, but they still got away with the shit. So it was kind of useless.
So what is the... So the Foot Clan appears here and just immediately starts causing crime.
Yes.
It's like, well, this is where we live now.
Okay, so here's the thing. Well, yes, but okay, so here's the thing. Shredder wants to go home, so he's like, I need 2 things. I need all the shit to build an interdimensional transport machine,
Yeah.
and a scientist who knows how to build one of those things.
Okay.
So
And someone who knows to only send me back.
no, he wants his foot soldiers there too, because he seemingly has like thousands of these guys.
But leave the turtles.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. The plan, as far as the Foot Clan is concerned, is to steal scientific components because they've already kidnapped the scientist who is created for this event, who will undoubtedly build this machine that Shredder needs.
So it's not random mischief. We're just thrust right in the middle.
We're in the middle, like
Shredder's plan.
Yeah,
It's
this
already started.
happened. The Turtles are in the sewers of Gotham, and they've actually wound up creating a residence for themselves.
Oh,
They've-
wow. Oh, so they've been here a few days.
They've been here for a couple days.
Yeah, they're subletting from Killer Croc.
What? Actually, it's funny you should say that because they do encounter Killer Croc in the sewers.
Yay.
Because they're in the sewers in
Right.
Gotham, so naturally they would
like, hey,
encounter Killer Croc.
What are you doing, man?
This is my deal.
Yeah, I live in the sewers.
Also, I'm a giant
Green thing.
amphibious monster. Mm-hmm. You're kind of stepping on everything I am.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, the crocodile that we know is a little bit less intimidating.
Yeah.
than
Plus,
you.
his name is Leatherface, which is, I think, a cleverer name, but you know, whatever. So we meet the Turtles and establish they call delivery, and the delivery, it's the scene from the movie.
Exactly.
The delivery guy goes to like a spot where, you know, like 122 and an eighth, but there's a sign that says leave it on the street, and he's just like, leave it on the street. I'm not paid enough for this. Leaves it on the street. They grab it, pull it into the
How
sewer.
does he get paid?
They have money like on the sign.
Yeah, it's taped there.
Oh,
But they're
That's even easier. Leave it on the street. Sure.
yeah, I'll leave it
I
on the
got
street
paid.
instead of like just slip it down here, buddy.
All right, I'm
That's
gonna
still-
I'm gonna ruin your pizza by tilting it vertically.
Yeah, but it was a Domino's pizza, so it's already ruined. Batman is on the eve of his parents' death's anniversary. It's like a week from their, from the, whatever year anniversary. Can't say specifically how many years, because that would age Batman. So,
Can't have that.
and we established that, like, Batman has, like, a dark day, like, on that day. Like, when they're dead, like, when he celebrates that day, he observes it by, like, going away and, like, cutting everybody off.
Okay.
Which is what you'd expect Batman to do. It's pretty fair.
Yeah.
So,
And does he still fight crime on that day?
I don't know.
Because-
I assume he does, but he just kind of goes away. Like, no one from the extended Bat family knows what he does or where he is.
Because I would think criminals might clue in onto that. Be like, there's one day a year where Batman
Batman just never shows
doesn't
up.
really
Show up.
care.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's established for a long time, that would definitely come up. There is an issue with the League of Assassins that's going on, and Damian, who is his son, and also, he's the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. So Ra's al Ghul is technically Damian's grandfather. So Damian is dealing, and he has intimate knowledge because Damian was raised by Talia and the League of Assassins. So
Okay.
Damian is dealing with some rumblings about the League of Assassins, and so he's not in the book until later.
Okay.
But he's away dealing with that.
And what about
He's
Robin?
conveniently away.
Which Ron? Damian is Robin.
Oh, Damon's Robin right now.
Yeah, and then there's Dick Grayson, who is, I think, during this period still a secret agent named Grayson.
Okay.
I think Tim Drake is called Red Robin and a member of the Titans.
Okay.
And Jason Todd, who was dead but is now back, is known as the Red Hood, and he's like a Punisher type of member of the Bat family.
So right now there is no Nightwing.
No, not right at this moment.
Okay.
Although, after Rebirth, Dick Grayson eventually re-becomes Nightwing. There is
Yeah.
still a Nightwing. He stopped being Nightwing after Forever Evil, and then...
He's like, I'm going to be a spy instead.
Yeah.
I recall that.
Exactly. So anyway, Batman is dealing with that, and so Batman's like, okay, if this ninja clan is attacking science groups, they've hit this. Like I've traced where they've been hitting. They're going to hit Wayne Tech at this point. So he
Convenient.
so he calls off a bunch of like police detail so that Batman can deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically sets a trap for these ninja assassins, which winds up actually catching the attention of Killer Croc as well. They're tracking the Batmobile, and they track the Batmobile to Wayne Tech.
Who does?
Wow.
Killer Croc.
Oh. How does he track the Batmobile?
He winds up getting technology through his criminal dealings,
Oh.
and winds up sniping some of, I think, Penguin's henchmen to get some henchmen. Because Killer Croc establishes, number one, that everyone underestimates him and thinks that he's an idiot, but actually has, like, other bigger plans, bigger aspirations.
Yeah, he's not just going to sit in a sewer and eat fish.
No, he wants money because he's just a guy. He figures out that like there's a black market demand for pieces of the Batmobile. So he's
Okay.
like, if we strip the Batmobile for parts, we're going to make serious bank.
That's
Okay.
actually really cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's like, well, Batman's dealing with whatever's happening in that building. We'll strip
I'm
the
not going to
Batmobile.
fight Batman.
No, I'm
I am
gonna
gonna
wreck
try
his
to-
car.
Yeah, so I'm going to come into conflict with him in a way that doesn't get me beat up.
Leave it
Yes.
up on cinder blocks, take all the hubcaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good direction for the authors to take a villain in.
Yeah, I like that.
Because every time, at a certain point, they just, I'm going to defeat Batman. Like, no,
Like,
you're not.
no, he's
Yeah,
a
stop
master trained
Yeah.
combatist. He's going to kick your ass.
Plus, you steal parts of the car, you'd be like, wait, all of this stuff is Wayne Tech.
Oh, yeah, he
Oh,
could
yeah.
figure
Wait
it
a
out.
minute.
Well, and it could be that the reason why it's so desired by the criminal underworld is because they could trace the tech back to whoever owns Batman or whoever is Batman.
Right.
So Croc is going through the sewers and he winds up happening upon the Turtles' impromptu lair, which he remarks is like, it looks like some kind of teenager's bedroom because it's covered with TVs and video game machines and, yeah.
So do they buy that stuff?
I guess they do.
After they
or
showed up
they
and-
steal it. I mean, like, the
Right.
Turtles are ninjas, but they're
Yeah.
also...
Nah, they wouldn't steal.
Yeah, I don't know what they would do, but they get this equipment that
Right.
didn't come with them through the portal.
Are they like flat screens or? Are we
One of them's a flat
CRTs?
screen, but I see a couple of, like... Yeah, no, they're all flat screens.
I mean,
but
they
they're
had
all older.
money.
Yeah.
So technically, like, they'll probably just, like, pay for something and then, like...
The Turtles pay for the pizza, I
take-
assume, yeah. They
Well, where
probably...
do they get money?
Well, they find
Salvage?
Salvage.
it. Yeah, they probably find it in the sewer, you know? People flush bills by accident, or they drop things in the city. You're in the city, you're gonna find money. The Turtles probably know the best place to find it.
This is actually a really good question.
Yeah,
I've never
how do the Turtles
understood.
pay for things? I don't know.
I mean, it looks like multiple computers here. I mean, there's hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, well, I will say that Donatello's access to the internet, he usually does, like, coding and stuff like that.
Not only
Wow.
that, but, I mean, you go to some places of electronic recycling, you can find parts and probably
That's true.
rebuild
If
the
you go to, like, our municipal
That's true.
building, it's filled with monitors.
It's true. They might just scavenge.
Yeah.
that stuff.
And Croc assumes that they are in, like, the lair of a bunch of kids. Because
Right,
they have
right.
video games
Yeah, a
and
bunch
stuff.
of kids like playing around. Yeah.
Including Death Laser Pony Racers, which is a video
That
game.
sounds like an awesome game.
I know. I figured you'd like that.
Right?
That's Michelangelo's favorite game, by the way.
Of course.
So, and Michelangelo's like, no, my Pony Racers, damn it. So then the Turtles spring into action, kick Killer Croc's ass.
Plus, that was
Nice.
clearly a Sega Genesis cartridge.
It was.
So, like, it's
So it could've
old
been
tech.
old, yeah. But the Turtles are old school.
Yeah.
In fact, Donatello's username in his world is like, does machines 84.
That's because,
Those
like, they only have 3
machines.
fingers. How are they going to play modern games? with
That's
all those
true,
buttons?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's the NES or Genesis controllers are perfect for that. So anyway, the Foot Clan predictably shows up. Batman tries to get information while we're also seeing the Turtles fight Killer Croc.
Okay.
So we're seeing them
Two things
fight each other's
simultaneously.
villains
Yeah.
already, even though they don't know each other. And it's fun, and we get to see them like kick ass, and it's some great art. And then Shredder shows up during Batman's defeat of the Foot Clan,
Okay.
and he's like, I don't care about what you're doing, Bat Guy.
Right.
Just let my ninjas steal this shit, and nothing will, and we'll go away.
Right.
The end.
Right.
And then he
You don't
like,
have to deal with this anymore.
yeah, and he throws like a smoke bomb and disappears, and Batman's like, right on.
Hmm.
And so
Wait, are you telling me that Shredder disappears and he doesn't turn around and Batman's in his face? Being like,
yeah, like, nice try.
I do this trick all the time!
Exactly.
trick.
Yeah. Well, because Shredder is incredibly capable in this book.
he's
He is
crazy.
not like the 84 cartoon where he's like, blast! I'm really ineffectual! In this one, he's a legitimate threat and a really skilled martial artist, so
Okay.
he and Batman will wind up kicking ass later on.
Hmm.
So,
I assume each other's.
yes.
Okay.
So the Turtles kick the crap out of Killer Croc and his minions, and they're like, okay. And then Splinter's like, cool, well, let's get out of here. We can't stay here anymore. Our lair's been found. We're not going to kill these guys, which means this is the end of our lair. We got to leave. So
Gotta find a new corner of
yeah.
the sewer.
So they go topside, where, conveniently enough, the Batmobile is, because that's where Killer Croc was tracking them anyway. So they find the Batmobile, and they're like, this is nuts! And then Batman shows up. And he knows that he needs to look for the Turtles, because the lady who was attacked by the Foot Clan, who was rescued by the Turtles, was like, I think it was giant turtles that were saving me. And he's like, and that's all Batman has to say about that, by the way, is turtles. And then when he sees them again, he just says, turtles.
Even Shredder, so he like after Shredder left, he went turtles.
Yeah.
Turtles.
He's like, okay.
I don't get it.
I don't get
Turtles?
what's happening.
I'm sensing a pattern.
Yeah.
Turtles.
I love it.
weird.
Friggin- so Batman jumps into the fray, and Michelangelo just runs away and goes into the nearby pizza parlor. He's like, "You gotta help me! There's a crazy man in a bat costume, and he's kicking our ass!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, not in my reality. I gotta go." And he runs back.
Oh my god,
Actually, I
that's
think
amazing!
Batman winds up bataranging him and then pulling him back into the fray. And the Turtles are like, "Okay, here we go." And Leonardo, of course, is the leader, and he's just like, "Okay, we all gotta." He basically does the Obi-Wan tactic, where he's like, "You go in slowly on the left, and then I'll attack." And Batman's
taking
like,
it now.
"Yeah," and Batman's like, "You're welcome to try to beat me, but you're giant, clumsy monsters." So they have their fight, and it's pretty cool, and you know,
Why do they have to fight?
They have
Why
to
don't they
fight.
just stop and talk?
because
for
we
a
gotta
second?
see how cool it is that they fight, and who would win in that fight.
Who does win?
Batman.
Okay.
I mean, if anyone looked like a ninja from their world, Batman looks like someone who would kick their butt.
It's true.
He even has little things on his arms like the Shredder does.
He does.
Just
yeah.
not as many, and,
Well,
they're pointed
and
the
that's
wrong
a
way.
ninja type of thing.
Yeah.
So Batman winds up like kind of holding his own until Splinter shows up, and he's like, "That's enough.
enough.
Smoke bomb gone." Batman's like, "Twice now. Damn it!"
Does Batman take?
He
their
takes one of
weapons?
Raphael's
Oh,
size,
that's awesome.
which comes into play because he brings it to Lucius to like study its metallurgy and figure out what it's all
it came
about.
from,
And what they discover is it is made of metal, but not metal from our reality.
Okay.
However, it is made of trace metals from our reality, in as much as it came from another reality, but the
Okay.
longer it stays here, the more it approximates into the materials from this reality.
Oh.
So it will become a psi from the DC universe.
Okay.
If you bring a cheeseburger from the Ninja Turtles universe into the DC universe, it is made of different components, different types of,
Right.
whatever.
And it will
Right.
basically, like
Reform.
imitate, like,
It's different at like an atomic level. In
Yes.
Some way. Yeah.
but reality finds a way to, like, basically
make
shift
it make sense,
Make it
yes.
more-
Except mutagen does not exist in the DC universe, but turtles do. So when if the turtles stay here long enough, if the turtles and Splinter stay here long enough,
Right.
they will revert into turtles.
Not
and a rat.
people.
No, because the turtles are not people. They started out as
They
turtles.
started as turtles.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're turtles
that
that got
sucks.
big and smart. They're not people who like crossed with turtles.
No.
Okay.
yeah, the turtles
As I recall, there was an episode of the cartoon show where they
turned into people.
turned into humans.
Yes,
But I guess they were never
they were never human.
humans because in the opening
They're
little,
turtles.
They're little baby turtles.
No, the idea is, there were turtles that were in the sewer, and the rat found them and gathered them up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they actually changed the origins a couple times for Splinter, where it's like in the cartoon he's a person who turns into a rat, and in the movie / comics he's a rat who turns into a man.
So why would they want to turn into a person? Because remember Michelangelo, as I recall in that episode, really wanted to be a person. It's like, but you're not a
Didn't he have a
No,
crush on
because-
April?
It's weird, the crushes in April. We've talked about this off
Yeah.
camera, the idea of like, if they're teenagers, it's funny where they establish like Ninja Turtles, they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In the cartoons and stuff, they use that as a way of being like, look at how goofy and childlike they are, like teenagers. When in reality, if they were teenagers, they'd be angsty and horny.
Yes. Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
Raphael is
Raphael's
angsty.
angsty.
Yeah. But it's not because he like desperately needs to have sex. It's because he's just deeply troubled. And he's, by the way, the same in this as well. Like Raphael, all the turtles like, this dude in a bat costume, he was awesome, and he had crazy, amazing skills, and he wears this cool outfit, and he's got an awesome car. And Raphael's like, he's a lunatic who dresses like a bat. That's not cool.
He's
A Ninja Turtle is cool.
I am a turtle who was, through forces beyond my control, transformed into a man. I had no control over that. I was trained by a rat man. That's different from a lunatic who puts on...
Who puts on a costume.
If I met a Ninja Turtle who was just a dude who wore a turtle costume, that would be fucking crazy. I am a product of, like, of destiny, not you.
Yeah.
You
So
choose to do that.
If they ran into Man-Bat, they'd be like, this is just a normal thing.
Well, they'd be like, cool. Or they'd be
That
like,
I
whoa,
understand.
I get that, yeah. Man-Bat is a dude... Except even
He's
he
just
is...
like all the shit we deal with all the time.
Yes, that's very true.
He's like Bebop, except he's a bat instead of a friggin-
Instead of a guy, or
Yeah.
instead of Bebop as the warthog.
the war dog. Yeah.
But like at the same time, it's interesting. They never use Man-Bat in this whole story.
Did they bring in anyone else besides Killer Croc?
Oh yeah,
Killer Croc, they understand.
They
too,
understand him
presumably,
too.
because he's a
Yeah,
crocodile man,
you're a
of course.
crocodile man. I got
Except-
one of you at home.
He said, he's just a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they use everyone.
Exactly.
But Man-Bat. So the Turtles are impressed by Batman, and in fact, Michelangelo makes a handy flow chart about what is awesome and not awesome about
It's a Venn
Batman.
diagram.
Yeah, a Venn diagram. I'm sorry. Thank you. You know, like, for example, what's awesome about him? He has a rad suit. He has little bat throwy thingies. He has a cape and an electro car. What's not awesome is he kicked their butts. He has a mean voice, and he stole Raph's Sai.
And he's not awesome. Oh, that's the not awesome side.
No,
Yeah.
that is what is not awesome about Batman.
Got it.
Right.
But, like, also, it's a
wings?
Venn diagram. What is...
Yeah, what is the merged...
Well, he makes a bat Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Batman winds up talking to Lucius about the Sai, and Splinter let the Turtles, like, go and have their little math problem, while he followed Batman, figured out who he was, and watched him talk to Lucius, thereby discovering that they have a fucking problem. He's like, if Raph's Sai is turning into a Sai, we're gonna turn into fucking animals and die.
Right.
So, screw that. So he follows Bruce Wayne and Batman, discovers all that shit, and then goes back and gets recon. Meanwhile, Shredder has a sweet team up with the Penguin, which was like, when I was first reading this when it was coming out, I'm like, really? We're gonna do the Penguin?
Yeah.
That's the one you're gonna go with! Because Penguin has resources and
Yeah,
he needs...
it makes sense.
But I was like, that's lame!
Yeah, Penguin sucks.
Penguin winds up procuring more information for him.
Pose is amazing.
Oh, Shredder just being like, yes! That's all he does in this book is pose. Penguin gives Shredder access to resources, and
Why?
because Shredder promised to pay him.
Oh.
And then at the end of it, he's like, okay, let's pay up. And he's like, oh, there's no money. And Penguin's like, what? Well, that's ridiculous! And
I don't know how it works in your universe, but in this universe, when you tell someone you're going to pay the money,
and then you
you're
provide a service.
yeah, they're supposed to pay you for
Yeah.
that service.
Except
We're bad guys, but we still need to make a living.
You've heard of the double cross before, I'm sure, Cobblepot. What is your problem? But no, Penguin thinks that he has like the upper hand because Shredder only showed up with a couple of guys,
Right.
And Penguin has a lot more guys seemingly.
Plus, Penguin has all the resources of this universe. He has connections.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
whatnot. Shredder's
But
just on his
just
own.
on the docks when they're building the machine, all of Penguin's guys are taken out by foot soldiers. And
You understand? I'll double cross a good guy
yeah, I don't-
somehow.
right? But like,
Not that we'd make a deal, but like, you know,
Yeah.
that's who I would betray.
Yeah.
well, no,
we're
it's-
supposed to
we're
stick together.
criminals.
we
Honor
do
among
get
thieves.
we do get a couple of betrayals though. Shredder betrays Penguin, and then Penguin betrays Shredder and becomes an informant for the GCPD later.
Well,
Because he has
even
nothing.
betraying Shredder. Well,
Well, he betrays him because Shredder betrays me. He's like, I'm not going to pay you, but I will kill you unless, because I'm done with our transaction is completed.
Right.
And then Penguin's like, whoa, I still have more resources, and you don't know how the city works.
Right.
I will provide my services in exchange for the greatest payment of all, which is life.
Right.
So that sounds good, and Shredder's like, all right,
Okay.
fine.
Sure.
It says like you need weapons and money and shit. I got access to that, and Shredder's like, I guess I do need that.
Yeah.
So all right.
All right.
So Splinter winds up forcing the Turtles to like leave wherever they were, and he's like, okay, follow me, and he like takes them underground, and they're just climbing through rock. And they're like, Splinter, where are we going? And they wind up in the Batcave. Because that's where Splinter figured out where Batman is. And so he brings the Turtles, like, here's the thing. We have a problem. This dude who kicked our ass has resources and knows what's up. So we're going to have to ask him for help. Like, Splinter is the wise sage in this experience, where he's
Well,
like, we shouldn't have fought with him. We should have just
Right. He's
tried
a
to
good
calm-
guy. He's like us.
Yeah.
He didn't kill us.
Yeah. And he's also trying to solve the problem of these thieves, so he's obviously trying to stop them. So anyway, they wind up at the Batcave, and oh crap, I think like so Shredder builds this big fucking like ridiculous transport machine.
Yeah.
And Batman, well, all right. So the story is we for no reason jump ahead in time
Oh.
to the machine is completed, Shredder and Penguin are talking, and he's like, okay, well, anyway, I'm going to kill you, Penguin, we're done. Penguin's like, damn it. And the scientist that Shredder kidnapped to force him to build the machine has been awake for, like, hours, like, or days, to build the stupid machine.
Yeah,
And,
around the clock.
Yeah. And he's just like, no, you don't understand. Like, in the building of this machine, I have discovered the same thing that Lucius Fox discovered, which is, like, bringing things through portals and from that universe into this one will merge things and like it'll destroy everything.
Oh.
Like,
So you're saying you can't use this portal I just built?
well, he's saying, like, Shredder keeps changing his plans. Originally, it was like, I want to build this portal, and then it's like, I want to do this with it, and we haven't discovered what Shredder's actual plan is with the portal.
Oh,
yet.
he doesn't want to just go home necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Maybe he wants to bring everyone here and take over
Well,
this world.
it's interesting what he wants to do. So
You said that like it's interesting. It's
and
kind of dumb.
Well, yeah, because it's like Shredder's just a dumb jackass.
Yeah.
Shredder built the machine. Batman shows up. He recaptures the scientist and gives him to Alfred. And Alfred takes the scientist onto like a boat because they're on like the pier
Okay.
or whatever to bring him to safety. And then Batman and the Ninja Turtles, who have teamed up, go and kick Shredder's ass. And you're like, what?
What?
And then we flash back to what happened, and we're like, why did you do that?
What?
Why did we do a stupid time jump? Because it worked in Swordfish and every Quentin Tarantino movie, so I guess we'll do it in this one. Like, just tell it in linear fashion.
Yeah.
no.
You
Then-
gotta have a reason to do that. There's gotta be a compelling...
There's no reason. It's
Was
just,
that where one of the issues like broke? So like you had a cliffhanger.
No,
of,
it's
like,
how we
wait,
opened
we're
the
here?
issue. We opened the issue with like, what? The Turtles and Batman have teamed up? Why? Now I'll tell you why. Like, why don't you just
Maybe
tell me
they
why?
thought the opening to that issue was boring. Like, if
probably
someone just
did.
opened the first page, they'd be like, that's
It's
boring.
not, because like the first page is Batman and Alfred are talking, and then
That Batman and Alfred are talking.
it's half a page! And then the alarm in the Batcave is triggered, and there's Ninja Turtles in there mucking with his stuff. And by the way, of course, like, that's where Michelangelo's riding the giant robot Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yay.
Donatello is like, holy shit, giant computers and all this tech. This is amazing. Like, this is great. And they're in, like, the trophy room with all, like, the
Splinter's
different...
okay with them just fucking around with Batman's shit?
They're kids. He's like, what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do?
You tell him to stop.
He's
They're
like
also trained
So he's a
ninjas.
really bad parent.
I mean, he's...
At a, like a food store
he
or
loves
something.
his kids. They're not touching anything. Like,
Can you imagine? They're not touching anything. Michelangelo's riding his fucking Triceratops.
Michelangelo's the only one
Rex.
who's riding anything. The rest of them are just looking around, because it's like a museum.
Yeah. And the first rule of the museum is you don't jump on the back of the dinosaur.
That's true. All
and
right.
ride
And then
it around.
Michelangelo puts on a Robin costume.
Yeah, I wish he'd done that. It's not in the book. A lot of fan
Oh
service in
my
this
God.
book. That is not one of them, unfortunately. That would have been amazing if he like broke into the Jason Todd uniform. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, rah!
And Batman's like,
Jason Todd's back to life, and so that ruins everything anyway. Leonardo's like, this is pretty cool, because they look at like the museum where he's got like all these different armor
Yeah.
and shit, and he's like, this is really neat. And Raphael's like, it's not neat. My earlier codicil about how Batman's insane is
Yeah.
fucking proven
He's got a museum to
himself.
himself.
That's
or some
fucking
shit?
nuts.
With a
Not only-
dinosaur?
He's also like incalculably rich too,
Yep.
and uses his resources to what? To feed his ridiculous narcissistic habit? To be a wacko? That's stupid.
oh my god, I love Raph right
So
now.
Batman shows up and like knocks
I know what you said
Raphael.
about me.
Yeah, what? So he literally kicks Raphael into the Batmobile, and then
Oh.
he's like, "All right, how'd you get in here? I want to know what's up." And Splinter disarms him by saying his real name. He's like, "Okay, Mr. Wayne, let me explain what's going on." It's like the scene with April in the sewer. I have no idea where you came from. You should just sit down and calm yourself. I will tell you where we came from.
There's a giant rat.
So Splinter tells the story about the origin of the Turtles and the universe they came from and how Krang sent them there.
Nice.
And then Alfred shows up with his shotgun, which he's wont to do because predators have shown up here before, and he's like,
Oh, my
no,
god,
you don't."
no!
Looks like
Alfred,
you're having
hang
a
on.
rat problem.
So
Don't
Batman
worry,
is
I
like,
brought the repellent.
so Batman is like, stand down, Alfred, it's cool. And he's like, all right, so we got to stop Shredder. Let's team up. So then they go and they fight Shredder, and they're like, okay, Shredder, we've beaten all your foot soldiers. It's over. And Shredder's like, no, it's not. And then he blows up the transporter.
What?
He's like, nah, fuck that. Blows up the dimensional machine.
The thing he built.
Yes.
I guess what? Because he's like, oh, the Turtles and Batman are
The
going to
Turtles
use it.
the Turtles
to
want to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, because as the scientist figured out what's happening, he also figured out that like if you bring things over, it'll train. He knows that the Turtles need to go home to survive.
Oh.
And he's like, I've already proven that I am incredibly effective in this universe. So
Right. Why don't I
And
just
not
stay
only that,
here?
I've got an
I'm a
army.
guy.
Yeah, I'm just a dude. I'll just approximate into myself,
Right.
and my foot soldiers will just be ninjas, and I'll take over this whole stupid city. I mean, if the Penguin is the best this place has to offer, then I'll take this place over in a heartbeat.
Interesting.
So
And the Ra's al Ghul's like, whoa. I don't think so, buddy.
or Joker.
yeah, or anyone. So,
I just meant because Ra's has, the League of Shadows.
yeah.
That's true. It's a similar.
So
Version.
Raphael frustrated by the prospect of losing his life and home, goes in headstrong and attacks Shredder. Shredder cuts him with his totally awesome and rad claws and nicks an artery, and then grabs like the incoming rope from a passing by helicopter, which he's orchestrated by his soldiers and whatnot.
Okay.
And like a video game supervillain, like Shredder, just goes "Mwahaha," and then leaves, while the rest of the turtles are like, "Oh no, we've got to save Raph, and I guess we're all gonna die."
Eventually.
And Batman soon too, because
Oh.
like the Psy
timer's
was
running
already transforming, so like shit. So then Shredder just goes like, he tells himself what I just told you about. Right. He's like, okay, and then Ra's al Ghul is in the helicopter, and he's like, I was going to kill you, but I'm kind of impressed with what you've been doing, and I thought maybe we might have a little bit of a conversation. So a couple of the foot soldiers who were arrested were raving about how they came from another reality, so they were sent to Arkham, and this like Arkham doctor lady is just like, I don't know, put him in the room with the others. And Joker is just in Arkham as well, and he's just like, it basically says to the reader, you don't possibly think there's going to be a big ridiculous adventure starring Batman that won't involve me, do you? And she's like, double his dosage, and then just leaves. And
in fact, just flood his cell.
Yeah.
Just
with
kill
like nerve gas. So then we cut to Wayne Manor, which has been delivered a dozen pizzas, which Alfred has to sign for, and Michelangelo's skateboarding in the manor, and blah blah blah. We get a moment which I love in crossovers and in movies that involve superheroes in general, where everybody takes a minute and we just enjoy the universe we're in.
Okay.
So the turtles are just
even though
out.
they know they're going to die.
Yes. Well, they're like, we got to figure it out. We'll figure it out.
But right now,
let's just.
But
pizza
let's
time.
show you the things you've always wanted to see.
Exactly. So we got Michelangelo skateboarding through the manor, which is like frustrating Alfred to no end. They bring the pizzas down. Leonardo sparring with Batman under the tutelage of Splinter, and Splinter's like yelling advice, and Leonardo
Batman's like, shut up.
Yeah.
He's not helping him.
He's like, your footing is off. And Batman's like, his footing's just fine. And Leonardo and Splinter's like, I wasn't talking to Leonardo. And then Leonardo winds up doing a sweet, move that flips Batman over. And he's like, you got lucky. We got the scene where Batman's like, I don't really get to spar with, equals very often. And it's kind of cool. Meanwhile,
especially when people aren't trying to kill me.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So it's just this cute moment where they're just like, I was distracted. And Leonardo's like, yeah, keep telling yourself that. And Donatello is interacting with the computer. He's like, this is amazing. And
he's geeking out.
Batman is like, have you found anything interesting on that computer? Like, how to save you? And he's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, well, and what we established is that the Turtles and Batman have called the Justice League, and they're conferring with Cyborg about how they can build a new machine and shit like that, and how much time it'll take.
Flash run in a circle around a ring of something and just create a portal.
Yes, he has in Justice League Avengers, but we don't do that in here, because he didn't do that anymore because it's New 52. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So they took care of that.
Well, I guess.
I mean, that's a major complaint of mine about Flash, so I'm happy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's still...
Or he hasn't figured out that he can do that yet.
He's still responsible for Flashpoint and all
That's
that
true.
crap.
Yeah.
So...
I love that Alfred says, and here is your greasy cheese bread.
Yes, he hates pizza and has no patience for it. And he's like, if you would like to eat something incredible, I am a chef and can... produce it for you.
Professionally trained.
Yeah, I know many recipes that are exotic and would, whet your appetite quite well.
Not only that, it would be nice to actually cook for someone who would eat the food.
Exactly.
Master Bruce.
And the Turtles are like, well, since we're since we're all working together, you should have a slice with us. And Batman does have a slice of pizza, and he enjoys it. Which I kind of like, because for me, I'm like, okay, every metropolitan area claims they have the best pizza, and I like the idea that Gotham has some good pizza, and Batman's never had it. It's like Batman can justify, well, I'm just eating a piece of Gotham anyway. But he doesn't say that. Right. He's just having a good time. And then Raphael gets up, he's like, that's enough. We're gonna die!
What's wrong with everybody?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills! He literally has that moment. And he's just like, you're a jackass! This is crazy! I'm just gonna go and figure it out by myself. And they're like, Raphael, that doesn't even make any sense.
What are you gonna figure out?
Screw you! He puts on his trench coat and he leaves. And
what are you gonna go? See Critters again?
Yeah. That movie hasn't been in theaters in 20 years. So, Ra's and his limitless resources built another machine. that will. Oh, by the way, the reason why they can't use the same doctor who built the old machine is because they put a subdermal bomb that was tied in with the fucking machine that he built the first time in that doctor. So both the machine exploded and so did the doctor. So no more doctor. That sucks.
Whoa!
So Batman did not save that guy.
Oh no. Batman's like, you can't. Batman's like, oh no, the guy's safe over there. And then he's like, oh yeah, kaboom! The thing explodes. And then Alfred like taps in his comm. He's like, I'm afraid the van exploded. My bad.
Oh.
So
I can't do anything about that.
Sucks for that guy.
So so Shredder and Raish work together, and they reason that they've built this new machine that can still tap into the Ninja Turtles universe, but it also can trace like. Here's where things get meh. And it's where like
here's where things get mad.
it can trace when someone else is trying to come through, so it basically intercepts anyone who might be coming. Okay, so like over in the Ninja Turtles universe, they have another super scientist named Harold, which is hilarious because Batman has a tech guy named Harold, but in the pre-New 52 universe, so I don't even know if there is a Harold in this universe.
All right.
But the Ninja Turtles have a tech wizard named Harold, and he builds a like pocket transporter for Casey Jones because he has figured out where the turtles are, and he's figured out the same mutagen problem. So he gives.
Do we see that happening?
No.
How would they even know?
They figure it out using science. So it's a crossover with the Ninja Turtles. We don't have
Doesn't
time.
matter, yeah.
We got to see Michelangelo running
shit.
a dinosaur. We got to see Ra's al Ghul and Shredder teaming up and combining assassins and ninjas.
All right.
Like we don't have time for that. Page real estate. Batman eating pizza. We got to see that.
We gotta see that.
We don't care how Howard builds the machine. We just want to see Casey Jones come through an interdimensional portal and fight Ra's al Ghul.
I don't argue with that at all.
And he has 5 canisters of pure mutagen, which he can use because there is a mutagen to give to the turtles and keep them
Prolong
alive.
them?
Give them some more time.
Yes, and buy them more time.
Okay.
Here, drink your Slurpee.
Yeah. So when he is so they intercept Casey's transport, kick his ass, steal his mutagen, and Casey barely makes it out alive.
Okay.
So now,
good.
Ra's al Ghul and Shredder have 5 canisters of mutagen.
When does April?
What
come
does it
through?
matter?
Never.
Okay.
But she does. Actually, no. She shows up at the end.
Okay.
So you're telling me that the mutagen can still exist in this world?
Yes, because there's no approximation for it. Although, like, the idea is that it will start to wear off.
Yeah.
But it's
The second it comes through, the timer starts.
exactly.
Okay.
But the Psy was here for a few days. That's going to transfer the turtles to this new mutagen in a new time.
Okay,
So
so the
this restarts
mutagen
the
eventually
clock.
will change itself
Yes.
into something inert.
This
but
just gives
for
them
right
more
now.
time.
Exactly.
If they can get it.
Yeah.
As
So-
much time as they had up till now.
Right.
From when they came through.
I assumed they wanted to steal it because they wanted to use it for their own experiments.
They do.
But what would that matter? Things will just revert.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we'll use it. So Casey Jones gets his ass kicked by the League of Assassins and the Foot Clan and Shredder and Ra's al Ghul, but somehow manages to survive and track the turtles into the Batcave and meets them there. So
right.
whatever. And Raphael is like walking through the streets of Gotham in the rain. Batman shows up in the Batmobile and he's like, "Get the fuck in the car."
He looks a lot like Bullock.
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah.
Batman's like, "Get in the car," and
No.
Raph's like, "No." He's like, "Come on."
Raph's
And so
also like, where? You have one seat.
no, there's 2 seats because he's got Robins and shit. So he brings Raphael with him, and he takes Raphael to Crime Alley. Because Raphael's main conceit is you've never sacrificed anything, you haven't lost anything, you don't know what it's like. You're just a rich person who thinks he can make a difference by putting on an outfit.
Raphael, what have you lost?
Well, he's okay. So
He lost his innocence when he became a giant, talking turtle.
Well,
Instead of
and
a
like
cute
his
little-
his is a life of like constant shadow hiding. He can't interact with anyone besides his brothers, and they're all different personalities from him. Like
Yeah, there's no female giant turtles.
and they're teenagers.
It's a real problem. So he's condemned to a life of eternal loneliness.
Yes, until death.
Until he dies.
Except for all the people that he fights, and Casey, and April.
He's got friends, but he can't
but-
like have sex with anybody, and he can't like make new friends. Like it's hard. All right,
Yeah.
it's
If you had to live like that, you'd
you'd be miserable.
Yeah.
So Batman shows him like this is where my parents were murdered, and like where all reason left my mind, and I had to become what I am. And Raph's like, that fucking speaks to me on a real dark level. I like that. And so you're like,
it's
yeah,
me where I live.
And it does. And Raph like immediately is like Bat fan number one.
Nice.
He's like, yes. And then they get the call that like Casey needs help, and
okay.
Casey's like, okay, so here's the problem. So he's like, okay, I had 5 canisters of mutagen that was supposed to be for you guys, and these guys took it, and they're going to some place called Arkham.
Oh no, they're gonna make mutant fucking bad guys. Oh my god, why?
They make life hard for Batman.
They think that's gonna work? They're gonna be able to control these people?
Yeah.
Or-
I'm guessing one goes to the Joker.
So they go. So Batman and the Ninja Turtles, or a couple of Ninja Turtles, I think it's just Raphael and Leonardo, go visit Commissioner Gordon because he signed the bat signal.
yeah.
Batman's like, "What's up?" And you got this cool moment of like the Ninja Turtles on the bat signal, and he's just and Jim's like, "Are you kidding me?"
What? Jesus.
He's like, "All right, anyway."
You were bad enough.
A bunch of ninjas took over Arkham, and they've changed its name to like the Grand Fortress of the Foot Clan or something. And we've discovered that like anyway, we got all this intel from the Penguin, and Penguin's like, "Hi, these guys don't want like money or power. Like they want to like end the world and like turn people into monsters.
Yeah.
I am not on to that.
Yeah.
Also, by the
That
way,
doesn't make me rich.
like this Shredder guy teamed up with Ra's al Ghul, Batman, and Batman's like, crap! Meanwhile...
Shit just got real.
Yeah, so Batman, Raphael, and Leonardo spring into action, but then Leonardo falls ill because the mutagen is starting to wear off.
no.
And you're like, oh no, we're racing against the clock! Meanwhile, Michelangelo and Donatello are killing time, and they're playing pony racers on like the Bat computer. And
I have every game known to man. I just don't play them.
yeah, and so they're hanging out and they're playing, and Casey Jones is like, this place is nuts. And then Damien shows up.
Oh.
And he's like, what are you doing in my cave? And he
fuck?
he attacks them.
What?
Why are you playing my game?
They've
Yeah.
clearly been here for a long time.
But
Like,
he
there's
hasn't
some-
been here. He doesn't
I know,
know.
but like, he thinks that people just took up residence in the Batcave and Batman didn't know?
Well, he assumes maybe they might have kicked his ass and taken him hostage or something.
yeah.
What if there were 4 killer crocs? Maybe they could kick Batman's
Yeah.
butt. Now there are 4 turtles. He's like, your guys are monsters. I have to take you down.
Yeah, so
You
Damien's
look ugly, I'm gonna defeat you.
And Casey has the greatest moment ever where he just goes like, what are you, like 5 years old? You're like, what are you gonna do? And he like he throws him into the pizzas, and he's like, my cave is covered in pizzas, and did you hook up my video game machine to the Bat computer? And they're like, yeah, it's got a huge screen.
It's awesome.
Why wouldn't you have done that?
Why haven't
like-
you done that already?
Damn
So-
it, why didn't I think of that?
So he's like holding his own because Damien's a fucking whirling dervish of skill. And
Like Yoda.
Yeah,
And sugar.
unfortunately. But Batman shows up and he's like, that's enough, Damien, knock it off. Like, we've got problems. And he's got Leonardo, and like, so he's like, okay, you guys have to leave because you're dying.
Right, we gotta get you out of here.
And he's like, and Casey's like, yeah, I've got my interdimensional transport machine, and it will only activate when it's ready, or when the dimensions align, or something like that. And when it does, it will turn on automatically, and we can go, and we can't turn it back on, or use it anymore, or whatever.
Okay.
So
It's a one-shot.
It's a one-shot deal. So once it goes, like, so they're like, but you gotta fight Raish and Split and Shredder and the Foot Clan. And Batman's like, I've got this covered. I got my son here who just kicked all your asses. We'll do this. And Splinter's like, don't underestimate the Shredder. And he's like, I won't. And he's like, you already have. and
The fact that you think that you could win this battle
means that you won't.
Yeah.
And Alfred's like, perhaps now is the time for you to use your sweet, awesome bat armor suit that you need to use to defeat Shredder. And he's like, not now. Maybe later in the story I'll use it. And so...
Keep it covered so the audience can't see it.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. So, Raphael's like, they gave all their goodbyes. Mike's like, this is the greatest day ever. You're so cool. Bye. So then, Batman and Damien go to Arkham, where they are faced with the Penguin, who is captured by Raish and Shredder, and forced to be the first experiment in
God.
what is to be a ridiculous onslaught of all of Batman's rogues
He's an Emperor Penguin, and that's amazing.
with mutagen.
Wow.
Oh, man, Mr. Freeze is a polar bear.
Yep.
Bane's an elephant.
Joker's a cobra.
Wait, why does the mutagen make humans into random animals?
Because it does. Some of them like it, like Bane's like, I've never known strength like this. And Mr. Freeze like, I could not care less if I'm a bear or a guy. I'm just going to kill you.
Did you change Nora? No.
So
I'm a monster then.
So then the portal activates and the turtle's like, we gotta go, we gotta save Batman. There's no match for mutagen monsters.
Well, how do they know that's happening?
Because they're getting the transmission through Batman's cowl.
Okay.
You know, and what's it called? His life signs are transmitted through there as well, and they're going down.
Right.
And Alfred's like, no, and the turtle's like, we gotta save him, and then the device activates, and Kate's like, we gotta go, and you're like, oh no, they're gonna leave, and then Mr. Freeze freezes Batman in place, and he's like, Damian, get the hell out of here. So Damian runs away to like get more forces or whatever,
Right.
and Shredder's like, yeah, I've teamed up with Raish, and we're gonna use your mutagen on every city in the country, and
You only have 5 canisters.
yeah, where we only used a little bit on all of your bad guys.
Oh.
Like it doesn't.
A little goes a long way.
Yeah, so
Well, why did Casey need to bring so much?
I don't know.
To sustain them for a long time?
Yeah,
It
to
would
make- it's
revert.
a great
No, because
question.
it's got a timer on it. It only
Yeah.
lasts as long as it.
Great question. We don't get that established, but
All right.
Raish is just like, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch your world tear itself apart as everyone turns into the beast that they really are.
And
And,
why does Shredder want to do that?
Shredder's just like, yeah, it sounds good because after it's over, then I'll take over the world.
Okay.
Sure.
Why wouldn't Rage take over the world? Like, what makes it? I guess he thinks, well, we'll wreck the world first, and then we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah. Probably.
Well, here's the thing. You're just a guy. I'm eternal. So.
Yeah. So
All right.
then Shredder's like, I would kill you, but there's one person here who really wants to do it more, and it's the Joker.
Right.
And he's just like, hey, Batman, this is going to be great, and later I'm going to betray all of them.
Right.
And because I have mutagen in me, and it's mixed with, like, venom, I wonder what kind of great, like, horrible toxin I'll produce from my own body. Like, maybe it'll be a version of my laughing gas, because nothing makes sense in this book anyway, so why not? And then the turtles show up, and they're like, we might be woozy and kind of fucked up, but we're gonna save you, Batman! And so they do.
Oh, Splinter's there too.
Yeah,
Cool.
Splinter joins them as well, and Michelangelo's like, oh my god, you're a fucking polar bear. This is the cutest thing ever. You're so cool. And Mr. Freeze goes, you want a cool? I'll give you cool.
Oh,
and he's like, oh, you got the one-liners down and everything. You're perfect. And
This is exactly what I'm used to.
yeah. So then they free Batman, and then they give him a modified version of the Intimidator suit that he was building that has, like, work that was done by Donatello that represents all the turtles.
It has all their colors on it.
So he
A
puts it
little
on.
bit, yep.
And then, so Batman goes and fights Shredder. Splinter grabs Harley's giant mallet and fights all of the rogues. And the turtles fight Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
And so,
Interesting.
Yeah, change it up a little bit.
yeah, and the turtles wind up kicking Ra's ass because he's not used to fighting, like, 4 Batmans.
Right.
And just because they work together, they kick his ass. Shredder throws acid on Batman's stupid suit anyway, so it's useless. And that way we can show
useless now.
so that way we show that Batman can kick his ass.
Without the suit.
Yeah.
I guess.
So he didn't use the suit for anything.
Not really. I mean,
He
he
used it for
still
like 10
wears it,
seconds
but
and
like
then-
it's kind of useless. You imply that like he uses it as much as the modifications he has are turtle modifications. So like at one point, Shredder jumps on Batman's back, and then he like activates a little like device on it, and like this circular disc, like a shell, like fires off his back and launches Shredder into the wall,
Plus, he has 2 toes like the turtles.
like the turtles.
How does he know how to use those weapons? He just got the thing.
He's
and he
fucking
wasn't aware
smart,
of
man.
those
He's a
changes.
genius. He built most of the suit. He might have been
Right.
like, new button. Burp.
That'll probably fire
Fire
Shredder
this
off
thing off my back. Why not?
Maybe
I
it was
don't know.
it was like the bat before.
Yeah.
They just turned it into a
It turned into a
shell.
dome.
All the changes were just cosmetic.
Yeah.
Changing bat stuff.
It's like, oh, it was going to be a
Turtle
firing
stuff.
bat, but I guess it could be a circle. That's fine. Yeah, Batman battles Shredder, and he knocks his helmet off, and then knocks him down onto the ground where Splinter is, and Splinter's like, I've defeated all your stupid foes, and now I'm going to kick your ass. And he fucking mallets the crap out of Shredder,
Nice.
bringing him down. And then Damian returns, and he's going to fight Raish, and then Raish is like, well done, grandson, and he escapes. Like, oh, Damien took out all of the fucking League of Assassins and
okay.
Foot Clan members that were around the base. They were
Okay.
keeping the cops from getting in and stopping this whole thing in the beginning.
Okay.
So then they're like, wow, like, thanks, Turtles. Prepare to die, I guess. And then the portal opens up, and Casey and April come out. And they're like, so when I had to go through the portal, I told them that you guys stayed. And so Harold built another portal, and we went through. And so they have a proper goodbye. And Raphael, who is like Batman's earned his respect. He takes off his like ninja mask and he gives it to Batman as like a token of his appreciation.
I do not like how he looks.
Oh, he looks ridiculous without a mask. As it
Yeah.
turns out, they
It's
look
terrifying.
like unbelievable. But anyway, he gives Batman his mask and he's like, "This is for you," and like you are a member of our family now.
And then Batman hands him a string of pearls.
Ugh, no,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, these are the family, though.
Do they take Shredder with them?
They take Shredder and they gather up all of the Foot Clan
So they
members.
just pick them up and throw them through the portal.
Yep.
Nah, just leave the Foot Clan members. We don't care about them. They'll be
Yeah.
fine, and not only that, like, they'll just get arrested.
They should. It'd be great, but no, they bring them all back. So then everybody goes through, and then the Turtles go home, and Batman is like, "So, Commissioner Gordon, you want me to like give you a report on this?" And Gordon's like, "No." So,
I do not want to fill out that paperwork.
Yeah.
That is-
so.
ooh.
Then we establish today is the anniversary of his parents' death, and Damien's like, "Oh yeah, today's the day your parents died. I guess you want to be alone." And Batman's like, "No, you know what, Damien? Like you should stay." And Alfred's like, "Oh, this is nice. Like the family's here together. You know, I have some old films of Bruce when he was a child. Like we could watch those."
Shut up, Alfred!
And then Damien's like, "You know, the Intimidator suit is destroyed, but like I had a couple of ideas where we could make modifications." And so Batman and his son work together to rebuild the Intimidator suit.
Oh.
And Alfred's like, "I guess that's close enough to be a family."
All right.
So that's
You
the
gotta
story.
be a weirdo.
Yeah, fine.
You
There's
can't
a
just be an
lot in the
old
back.
person.
Yeah, it's just all alternate covers drawn by like different artists, including like Kevin Eastman, the dude who co-created the Turtles. Like he drew an alternate cover for everybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that style.
Yeah, but like a lot of like DC artists worked on just like alternate covers for these, like Neil Adams and Cliff Chang and stuff.
do they use the Intimidator suit ever again?
No. Well, this just ended.
Oh,
Like a few months
okay.
ago.
Oh, all right.
But no.
Don't worry, I'm
maybe.
sure he'll get another one.
Yeah, here's the thing. In Batman Predator, he had a special suit that he wore, and we never saw it until Batman Predator 2, and it was in a corner gathering dust, and Alfred says, "Should you use the suit again?" He goes, "Nah," and we don't see that suit ever again. So, we have a history of Batman having special crossover
Special
armor
suit.
that he never
Yeah.
uses.
Well, also there's the special armor that he uses right to go to Apocalypse. Also in New
Yes, the Hellbat armor, which
Yeah.
Lois Lane uses in Superman, which
Ah.
is really cool. We do see that again,
Okay.
but Batman doesn't use it. So, yeah, it's just a really like fun, thoughtless, amazing crossover that could be anywhere, anytime. It's just the
Right.
fact that he has his New 52 armor means that it's in the New 52, but like
Right,
it
and
could,
he has Damien as
but like Damien was established before New 52,
Right,
so it could be
right.
pre, post, future, past, doesn't matter.
It just works.
It just works on every conceivable level. It's a perfect crossover.
So you had a lot of fun reading this.
I
imagine.
did. I loved reading this book, and I
I
had
like the
fun.
art in this book.
It's great. Freddie E. Williams the second has a lot of experience drawing turtles, so he's used to like doing that, and it's great. His turtles are awesome. His interpretation of like the mutagen fueled Arkham inmates is really cool and fun.
Yeah.
I guess I think it's so stupid, but it's also like exactly what you want.
It's hokey, but it's a great.
You
thing
gotta
to
have
see.
that. You
Yeah.
gotta have that moment.
I want that as a poster.
Yeah, of either one of those moments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this madness here.
yeah, it really is madness.
I mean, I'm sold just because of Mr. Freeze alone.
I think that the Mad Hatter is a rabbit.
Yes. Yeah, he looks like a rabbit. Who is this guy?
That's Two-Face. He's a baboon.
Oh, he's a baboon with a creepy.
Two-Face.
It's like a gorilla on one side and a baboon on the other.
Yeah.
Kind of. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god. The ventriloquist is a parrot.
Oh,
that's what that is.
That is genius.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's awesome.
Batman Ninja
Wait.
Turtles. It's amazing and great, and I've got it in the description box below this video. Pick it up. It is available for sale, I believe, in hardcover. But it's worth it, and it's also a great display piece. You might have noticed that I've had it in the background of a couple of episodes that we've
Yeah.
done already, because I was teasing it doing it in the future. It's a great book. Pick it up, check it out. It's great. I love this. What do you guys think?
It's fun.
Seems cool.
It's so
like it.
stupid. I understand that. Like,
It's not stupid. It's not stupid. It's advanced.
Who published this?
this was a co-production between IDW, who owns the licensing rights for Turtles, and
Right.
DC Comics.
So they didn't be like, no, you do one and we'll do
No!
one. They figured out somehow.
I think the idea was
Can you
they're
do
like,
this with Marvel?
no. IDW did one with Marvel. They did New Avengers meets Transformers. It is not nearly as well received
No
as you
way.
can quite imagine.
I don't believe that at all.
Well, we might do that in the future, though.
Oh, please
But yeah. I think because it's set like in Gotham and it's mostly Bat-centric, they're probably like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care. You got the Turtles, that's all you need.
It's a great story.
Because you don't need Batman going to New York and being like, oh, like, there you have a hot reporter? Or is she not a reporter in this universe? She's a reporter of the cartoons and the movies, but not in the comics. So I don't know.
We've already discussed, Batman doesn't go to other cities.
It's true. And occasionally he does. I will amend that, by the way. He did go to New York.
Yeah.
He went to Hell's Kitchen when he crossed over with Daredevil, but both those crossovers were terrible, so no one talks about them. But I will say it was the first time they didn't use the damn Joker. Oh. Batman fights Two-Face with Daredevil. Anyway, it's a really fun crossover. Check it out, and we'll see you guys next week with another episode of Back Issues. I'm Sal.
And I'm Ben.
So long.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!